Do you think we have an edge in this space?
I certainly do. I mean, Canada has had amazing leaders. The example that everybody gives all the time is Ethereum was founded in Canada. I can think of many companies or many individual contributors that are Canadian that are now working abroad, or companies that have left the country, generally speaking, because it's been difficult to build here. We have fantastic university. We have deep expertise in the space. I mean, Waterloo's been very, very involved in digital assets for, over a decade now. It's famously where Ethereum's coming out of. But a lot of talent end up working internationally or leaving just because of the frameworks are difficult to work through in Canada. So, as a proud Canadian, we decided to build a company here. We decided to launch a Canadian stablecoin. We want to enable Canadian competitiveness globally. Like, we care deeply about this. But then I go and I have to fight where, well, is a stablecoin a security or is it a payment instrument? Somebody says one, somebody says no. And we got to invest, all this amount of energy and focus, where if you're building in Dubai, they've already told you, no, this is, payments instrument, and go ahead and just build, right? And focus your energy on that. So Canada has great talent. I think Canada needs a change in mindset. There's a lot of really great things that are coming out currently from a sovereignty perspective. So there's various organizations like CCI that are, Canadian innovation focused. Build Canada is another great example. That non-for-profit, and they're doing a lot of focus groups and thought leadership, and really pushing on regulatory regimes and innovation. And then the other important pillar is our government is also talking about a lot more innovation, specifically in financial services, which is also really important, because if you get that clarity from the top of the house, then you can start pushing more. So we have great talent. We have struggled to keep it, but I am confident that things are moving in the right direction.
Okay, so still stay here, still build. It's just going to be harder, so the payout might be better. So we're going to move to the kind of the last part of the podcasts, where I just ask you, general questions. The first is, are you reading anything or listening to anything interesting at the moment? Whether it's a podcast or a book, it doesn't matter.
I love podcasts, so I listen to a ton. I would say I'm the typical tech bro, if I can, because I do listen to All In almost religiously, although it's not as good as it used to be. But actually, a podcast that I really like is Founders by David Senra. So his entire podcast is basically biographies of founders. He goes really deep into specific founders, and recently has pivoted to do interviews with people that are alive. So he's done one with Brad Jacobs. He's done one with Michael Dell. On my way here, I was listening to James Dyson. So I think that's excellent. That's like a must listen to me every time something comes out. On the reading side, I read a lot of biographies of various founders, innovators, leaders, a lot of history. So I'm very, kind of nonfiction focused. I think the title of the book will not resonate, or maybe it will. But Brad Jacobs, who's built $7 billion companies, recently published a book, which I'm reading at the moment. I think it's excellent for leaders or young funders or people that want to get into business, because he basically has decades of advice, and the guy's gone on to had an incredible career. So his book, which is How to Make a Few $1 Billion, that's the title, is a really great read.